morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about basic cloud computing techniques. Okay. Before that, all are aware the email, banking services, Google Drive, and other applications. These applications are fully based on the cloud computing techniques. The Netflix, Amazon, Flipkart. These applications are fully based on the cloud computing services. Okay. Then next start with what is cloud computing. Cloud computing is the delivery of computing services over the internet. So cloud computing is fully based on the internet. Cloud based server fully based on the internet server because of basic flow of computing cloud computing services is first user request, then the cloud server processing. Based on that processing, data storage are retrieved to derive the data, then response to user. This is the basic flow of cloud computing. First user request, then cloud server processing, then data storage, then response to user. Okay. Then computing service means that a service consists of servers, storage, database, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence. User access resources on demand without owning physical hardware. This is the main advantage of using cloud computing without owning physical hardware. Then resources are provided by CSP. That's a CSP means Cloud Service Provider. This is the main thing. All the resources, all the cloud resources provided by the cloud server providers. Then, for example of basic cloud computing, Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services. These are some basic examples. Okay, then evaluation of cloud computing. Another versions of cloud computing in 1950s to 1960s, the time we are using early computing was mainly used in the centralized mainframe computers. The main generalized mainframe computers mainly applicable for multiple users shared one system using terminals. Then 1980s we are using personal computing, that is the individual computers became common. The main application of personal computing processing moved from centralized system to personal devices. In 1990s, we are using client server technology. That's a client server computing. The client server computing means applications divided into clients and servers. Sometimes client act as a server, then our server act as a client. Data stored in centralized servers. Then next thing, distributed computing. Multiple computers worked together. That's the main concept of distributed computing. The main application is improved performance and resource sharing. Then grid computing, collection of geographically distributed computers. This is the grid computing concept. Then main application is solve the large computational problems. Then utility computing, computing resources provided like electricity. It's a main concept. This main application is users pay only for what they use. That's a payment mode. Then next era is a cloud computing. Cloud computing is a combines virtualization, distributed computing, utility computing, and internet technologies. That provides, that's a main application, that's a scalable and on-demand services. This is the cloud computing evaluation or version of cloud computing. In 1996 onwards or 2000 onwards, we are using the cloud computing techniques. Then parallel in this cloud computing techniques, we are using parallel computing. Parallel computing means to perform multiple tasks simultaneously using multiple process. That is the simultaneous process. That is parallel computing. Characteristics of parallel computing: divides problems into smaller tasks, then executes tasks at the same time. Divided, for example, main model divided into four submodel. All the submodels are executed the same time. Then reduce execution time. Then increase the performance of the system. The main advantage: faster processing, high throughput, better resource utilization, suitable for scientific application. The main application of parallel computing: weather forecasting, artificial intelligence, AI-oriented concepts, image processing, then big data analytics. Then next, distributed computing. Distributed computing uses the multiple independent computers connected through a single network. That's a distributed computing. Distributed computing characteristics: computers communicate through messages. Each system has its own memory. Resources are shared. Supports fault tolerance. These are main characteristics of distributed computing. Then advantage: high availability, scalability, load balancing, and reliability. These distributed computing applications are cloud computing techniques, online banking services, e-commerce services, and social networking. The characteristics of cloud computing as a basically in six ways. Basic characteristics. First thing, on-demand self-services. User provision resource automatically based on the demand. Then broad network access. Then resource pooling. Then rapid elasticity. Then measured services. These are some basic characteristics of cloud computing. Then next, on-demand provision means resources are allocated whenever user requests them. Based on the request, we are provide the services, cloud services. Features: instant resource allocation, automatic provisioning, self-service portal, pay as you go billing. This is the main feature of on-demand provision. Then advantage of cloud computing services: lower infrastructure cost, high scalability, high availability, automatic software updates, data backup and recovery, global accessibility, business continuity, disaster recovery support, energy and efficiency, faster application development. The main is the data backup and recovery, then global accessibility, disaster recovery support. These are the main thing. The next thing, in all of the disadvantage, some basic disadvantage, that's a internet dependency, security concerns, privacy issues, downtime risk, limited control over infrastructure. These are some disadvantages. In cloud computing techniques, three models are the cloud service models. First is infrastructure as a service. It's a infrastructure fully based on the infrastructures. Then platform as a service. This is a platform that's a software, provides a development platform and runtime environment. Then next one is software. Software as a service, provides complete software application through the internet. Then cloud deployment model. In cloud deployment model, four models are there. First one is public cloud, then second one is private cloud, and third one is hybrid cloud, and fourth one is community cloud. Then public cloud owned by the third party providers, self-service to the public. This main application is cost effective. Then private cloud dedicated to one organization, that's an individual organization or individual accessing. Then main application of private cloud, high security and control. Hybrid cloud, combination of private and public cloud. This is main application is offers flexibility and scalability. Then community cloud. Community cloud shared by organization with the similar requirements. In the main application is common security and compliance policies. Some clients cloud service providers CSPs, but Amazon Web Servers, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform GCP, IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud, then Alibaba Cloud. There are some basic CSPs. We are using the cloud computing techniques for online storage, email services, video streaming, virtual classrooms, healthcare system, banking systems, e-commerce platforms, social media, AI and IoT concept. Some challenges rises in cloud computing techniques: data security, privacy protection, network latency, service outages, cost management, and performance variability. Okay, we will see in the next class. Thank you.